Hi, everyone. Today, our group is going to talk about the project we are doing for this semester, information extraction system. So our group is consisted by a technical group and a research group. Next slide, please. Our technical group is consisted by 3 members, Lu Jiang, Xiaofang, and Ruijie Ma. Next slide, please. Our research group is consisted by 3 other members, Xu Liu, Jia Chen, and Lydia Tang. Next slide, please. So currently our business problem is that our client company trying to get some information of broad members, but because they used to using the manually gathering information is very time consuming. So they want us to have an automatic system to helping them get some social demographic information of S&P 500 broad members. What we can deliver to them is some online tools that we think might be useful for them. And also we have some hard coding. Next slide, please. So here is the process map. Our process map is consisted by 2 parts. One is the data and code, and the other is the tools that contractor can use. From left and to the right is the way that how the project can be going. Firstly, we have a raw file, and after that, we're using some code to combine those data. And after that, contractor can using some useful tools to finding other missing informations. Next slide, please. To be more specific, first we start with the data combination. So we already have an old executive data, for example, 2020, and then we want to download some new data from the S&P 500 company website, for example, 2021. So after we gathering those data, we are kind of like processing it in 2 ways. One is that if the data if the company is still in the new S&P 500 company list, we are going to copy the old data. But if there is no information about the companies, we are going to create empty data with tickers and the company name. On the right-hand side, it's the input of those data and the code, and the output will be two files. One is the people database, and the other is S&P 500 2021. Next slide, please.
And I will talk something about the solution for the business problems. We use many tools to get information. We use WRDS to get employee name, position, and ethnicity. And we use People API to get age, gender, education, NER API for past employment. And we generate LGBTQ and veteran information from age for text search, social media exploration tool, and Q&A tool. WRDS is a data platform that specializes in historical information for major companies. We can use this powerful research platform to easily research the content such as company name, board member name, director age, and ethnicities from the most commonly used SEC filings. It has easy to use web queries. It is updated daily. It has links to original HTML and text filling. It generates the CSV files as output automatically. And after I get the CSV files, I use Panda to clean it and get a data frame you can see from it.
Hi, this is Lydia. We also found out a difference comparing tool, which is a useful tool help us find useful and meaningful difference between text section of filling documents for the same company across time. Here you can see the example. I choose the company Apple and the filling year 2020 and 2019 and choose the proxy statement. And so by using this tool, we can easily find out the old board member change. For example, here you can see Bob Lager is no longer here right now, and Al Gore changed to 71 years old after 1 year. This tool can help us to compare the different years proxy statement and can easily find out the minor changes in proxy statement. Next, please.
So full text search is an official tool in SIG web page that allows people to search the full text of all elegant feelings. This tool can be used to find out the information that WIDS can find, which is the information of veteran and LGBTQ. We can do keywords research. For example, we can enter army or veteran, something like that. And if there is a result, the keyword will be automatically highlighted. And if there's no result, we can use the social media exploration tool to search for more information. So next, please.
Next, I will use Tim Cook as an example to illustrate how to collect data from social media using our tool. And this method could also be applied when the list of the board members changes, so that our client company must update the information of those newly added people. And by using the query function, our client company could collect and save real-time data that mentions Tim Cook and keywords for the past 2 years. And pornographic content should be removed since Keyword Gate generates tons of pornographic posts. And next slide, please. Dashboard is really helpful to analyze the data collected since it will generate a range of visualizations. First, we could check the word cloud tool. Tim Cook is gay directly appealed, and the source and details of the mentions could also be checked. What's more, by checking the posts that convey the feeling of surprise, we may get some information about the person's sex orientation, like what's shown in the slide. And next slide, please. We could also check the influencers and the affinities to make a prediction about the person when there is no relevant result, such as Tim Cook is gay. For example, it showed that Pink News mentions Tim Cook for 11 times, and it's a LGBTQ publisher. And then we can make a guess, maybe Tim Cook belongs to LGBTQ community. And next slide, please. We could also do a quick filtration to search for mentions that contain Tim Cook and veteran. After the screening, I found out that veteran in all these posts refer to experienced person rather than military status. So I guess Tim Cook is not a veteran. At least there is no information in social media indicating that Tim Cook is veteran, but we need to further verify it by using Q&A tool. And next.
Since the social media exploration tool cannot get information of veteran status, so we are using this question and answer tool as well. This question answer tool allows us to ask questions from information contained within the document. And the question answer extraction tool is a basic question answering tool. Provide a context for the model that it can extract answer to questions that are related to the content provided. We use the proxy statement from Apple and ask the question, is Tim Cook veteran? There is no answer found. And so we are moving forward with this technology. We will mark this information as missing.
We also use some APIs to help us on the information gathering. This is my process of how I deploy these two APIs into our project. In our scenario, we use the tickers for our target companies as the input. I bring this input in and connect with the APIs that will return me a very informative data frame that contains the demographic information of the board members of S&P 500 companies, as the graph on the slide shows. I also bring the information of biography column to the NER API, which provides me the name entity recognition service to help me parse out the information of previous employment. And that's about my part, and I'll pass back to my team.
Finally, we come to the accomplishment. So not only we have a lot of tools we can handle to our clients, we also have some codes. We using those codes generate a lot of different files, which we think is very useful. One is the people database. So the company can using those people database to search for different executive. Those people database containing the executive name, age, gender, ethnicity, veteran, LGBTQ, country of employer, and birth year. We also deliver one of the data as S&P 500 data, which included executive members of 2019, 2020, and 2021. Next slide, please.
Okay, so in this semester, our research team has analyzed more than 25 potential tools, and our tech groups has conducted 4 coding tryouts. Some are useful, but some are just given up because they have access limitations or data accuracy problems. In conclusion, although most of the tools are now using the final solution that we just provided, they are still the first step for us to successfully achieve the goal of this project. Again, thanks for listening, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.